just start tapping, and we're doing what we call sneaking up first. So just tell me what you're feeling just sitting here right now.
Worried that this is going to really open things up, which I thought I'd sorted out quite well.
Right, so where do you feel that in your body, all that worry?
I think right throughout.
Okay, even though I feel all of this worry,
Even though I feel all of this worry.
and I'm worried that it will open up a whole can of worms
And I'm worried that it'll open up a whole can of worms
as I look around the room
as I look around the room.
at all these wonderful
All
faces,
these wonderful faces.
and I know I'm safe.
I know I'm safe.
Whatever comes up,
Whatever comes up,
we'll release it and let it go.
we'll release it and let it go.
All this worry,
All this worry.
I'm worried about what will come up.
I'm worried about what will come up.
Won't it be great when I get rid of it?
Won't it be great when I get rid of it?
I accept myself
I accept myself
and everything I'm feeling.
and everything I'm feeling.
Even though I'm worried that I'll open up a whole can of worms,
Even though I'm worried I'll open up a whole can of worms.
I'm safe right here, right now,
I'm
with
safe
my
here,
feet
right
on the
now,
floor.
with my feet on the floor.
And right now I'm just tapping.
And right now I'm just tapping.
And maybe I can let go of the worry.
And maybe I can let go of the worry.
I'm safe right here, right now.
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 Maybe I can let go of the worry.
Maybe I can let go of the worry.
Right now I'm just sitting in a chair tapping.
Right now I'm just sitting in a chair tapping.
Maybe I can let go of the worry
Maybe I can let go of the worry.
and just be present in the moment.
And just be present in the moment.
I'm safe here
I'm safe here.
amongst lovely people.
Amongst lovely people.
And maybe piece by piece
And maybe piece by piece
I can unpack whatever comes up.
I can unpack whatever comes up.
Maybe I don't need to worry about it.
Maybe I don't need to worry about it.
Maybe it'll be easier than I think.
Maybe it'll be easier than I think.
It'll be great to get rid of all of the worry.
Let's get rid of all the worry.
I'm looking forward to getting rid of all the worry.
I'm looking forward to getting rid of all the worry.
How's that feeling now?
Yeah. Better?
Come down a bit.
It's come down a bit, yeah.
Where are you feeling it in your body right now? The remaining worry.
Probably just the tightness in the chest, and can't stop these tears.
Even though
Even though
I can't stop these tears,
can't stop these tears.
but who cares?
But who cares?
I've got lots of tissues.
Jenny's got lots of tissues.
And Jenny said she does make people cry,
And Jenny said she does make people cry.
and she's very good at it.
She's very good at it.
And I'm complying.
I'm complying very well.
I accept myself
I accept myself
and everything I'm feeling.
and everything I feel.
And I choose to process and release it
I
anyhow.
choose to process and release it anyhow.
Even though there'll be lots of tears.
Even though there'll be lots of tears.
So what?
So
That's what I'm supposed to do.
that's what I'm supposed to do.
I accept myself
I accept myself
and all the worry
and all the worry
about showing emotion.
about showing emotion.
Is that true? It's not a sign of weakness.
It's not a sign of weakness.
It's about processing and releasing.
It's about processing and releasing.
And I'm in a safe place to do that.
And I'm in a safe place to do that.
I'm in a safe place to do that.
I'm in a safe place to do that.
So it's bringing stuff up already about it's not being safe to be emotional. Is that right?
Yeah, it
In the
has.
past?
Yeah, it definitely has. It's just, my whole childhood, as I say, was just like being on eggshells, and it was just, I have a sister who's bullied me right from the word go, and not being well supported by parents, and my sister's still doing it, and has even done it to the extent where it's affected my parents as well. And it's like, I can't stop it. But actually it's not my place to stop it anymore. And now they are in a safe place. So they've now been put into these times and they are in a safe place, but she still has a need to hurt, and I'm her target. Always have been.
I'm my sister's target,
I'm my sister's target.
but I'm in a safe place to
But I'm
express
in a safe
emotions
place to
right now.
express emotions, yeah.
I'm not used to being in a safe place
I'm not used to being in a safe place
to express emotions,
to express emotions,
but right now I am.
but right now I am.
And I give myself permission to express emotions
And I give myself permission to express emotions, yeah.
in this safe
In a
space.
safe space.
I've always been a target for my sister.
I've always been a target for my sister.
But right now she's not here.
But right now she's not here.
And I'm going to process and release what needs to be
going
processed.
process and release what needs to be got rid of.
Because it doesn't belong in my body.
It doesn't belong in my body.
And I want to release it.
And I want to release it.
Releasing all the worry.
Releasing all the worry.
It's safe for me.
It's safe
to be emotional.
To be emotional.
And to have tears.
And to have tears.
And to process and release them.
And to process and release them.
I'm in a safe space now.
I'm in a safe space now.
Okay, so that's all about sneaking up and meeting the client exactly where they are.
Mm-hmm. Without doing a suds or anything else, you just,
It's about just being with the client.
And just starting to get them to anchor.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I saw that there was stuff coming about like emotion about crying. Like, you know, I can't be emotional. There was never space for you to be emotional. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm living news.
That's allowed as well.
Good. That's good.
All right.
Yeah.
So, just before we were doing, talking about trauma and the trauma capsule, and not long after that, you were hit with a migraine, right? Was there something that we watched in those videos that might have triggered that?
Well, probably the earthquake experience triggered that, but I feel very much that it was what was underlying that made the earthquake stuff difficult to cope with, because when they struck, as a parent, you feel you have to protect, and you feel really out of your control when something like that happens, when you don't know whether your kids are okay. And my youngest wasn't okay.
So where do you feel that in your body straight away, just saying that? My youngest wasn't okay.
My youngest wasn't okay.
Yep.
My chest.
Even though I'm sitting here and I'm safe.
Even though I'm sitting here and I'm safe.
Look at me, with my feet on the floor, in this room.
That's right.
And I've got all of this emotion coming up.
And I've got all this emotion coming up.
Look at me. Look at me. I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Sitting here in this room.
Sitting here in this room.
Amongst all these beautiful people.
Amongst all these beautiful people.
And even though I have a memory.
And even though I have a memory.
An emotion attached to it.
An emotion attached to it.
I'm safe right here, right now.
I'm safe right here, right now.
The ground's not moving here.
It's not moving.
I'm safe.
I'm safe.
And my son's safe.
And my son's safe.
Right now.
Right now.
In this moment.
In this moment.
I accept myself.
I accept myself.
And everything I'm feeling.
And everything I'm feeling.
And I choose to process and release it.
And I choose to process and release it.
And I might find that it's easier than I think.
And I might find it's easier than I think. I want to process and release it.
I want to process and release
I want
it.
to process and release it.
This feeling doesn't belong in my body.
This feeling doesn't belong in my body.
As a parent, you want to protect your children.
As a parent, you want to protect your children.
And when the earth moved in Christchurch,
And when the earth moved in Christchurch,
I felt unsafe.
I felt unsafe.
I felt like I couldn't protect my
And
children,
I felt like I couldn't protect my children.
especially my youngest.
Especially my youngest.
Everything I feel in my body,
Everything I feel in my body.
when I remember that,
When I remember that,
I felt like I couldn't protect him.
I felt like I couldn't protect him. Yeah.
And I feel that,
And I feel like,
where?
around my face.
I feel that around my
I
face.
feel it around my face.
All the emotion in my face.
All the emotion in my face.
All the fear in my face. Is it fear?
It was more, it's my eyes. It's like I'm searching and I can't find him.
Everything I'm feeling in my eyes.
Everything I'm feeling in my eyes.
I'm searching and searching.
I'm searching and searching.
And it feels like I can't find him.
And it feels like I can't find him.
I accept myself
I accept myself
and everything I'm feeling.
and everything I'm feeling.
Everything I'm feeling in my eyes.
Everything I'm feeling in my eyes.
It's like I'm searching and searching.
It's like I'm searching and searching.
Everything I'm feeling in my eyes.
Everything I'm feeling in my eyes.
Searching for my youngest son.
Searching for my youngest son.
I can't find him.
Can't find it.
I accept myself
I accept myself
and all of the emotions
In all the emotions.
And I choose to process and release them.
I choose to process it and release it.
Looking at me. I'm safe right here, right now. Letting my face know.
Letting my face know.
And everything my face remembers.
And everything my face remembers.
And my eyes remember.
And my eyes remember.
Searching and searching for him.
Searching and searching for him.
That searching feeling in my eyes.
That searching feeling in my eyes.
As a parent, you want to protect
As a
your
parent,
kids.
you want to protect the kids.
I feel like I couldn't protect him.
I feel like I couldn't protect him.
I feel like I let him down.
Yeah, I feel like I let him down.
I feel like I couldn't protect him.
I feel like I couldn't protect him.
My eyes are still searching for him.
My eyes are still searching for him.
Even though he's safe.
Even though he's safe.
My eyes are still searching for him.
Eyes are still searching for him.
That feeling that I let him down.
That feeling that I let him down.
I didn't protect him.
I didn't protect him.
I couldn't protect him.
I couldn't protect him.
The earth did what the earth did.
The earth did what the earth did.
And I responded.
And I responded.
Just like he responded.
Just like he responded.
Letting my eyes know.
Letting my eyes know.
I can let go of the worry.
I can let go of the worry.
I can let go of the search.
I can let go of the search.
All the way back to its origin.
All the way back to its origin.
When I was searching.
When I was searching.
So your eyes just went up into memory.
Mm-hmm.
What was there?
When I did actually find him and bringing him back, and he was in shock, and he was covered in blood, and
Stop there. Back to here. Seeing him covered in blood. Just seeing that. I can see him covered in
I
blood.
can see him down the street covered in blood.
I can see him down the street covered in blood.
Down the street covered in blood.
My eyes have been searching and searching
My
for
eyes
him.
have been searching and searching for him.
Now I've found him.
Now I found him.
And he's covered in blood.
And he's covered in blood.
Everything I made that mean.
Everything I made that mean.
All the emotions still trapped in my body.
All the emotions still trapped in my body.
When I saw him down the street covered in blood.
Down the street covered in blood.
I accept myself.
I accept myself.
And everything I'm feeling.
And everything I'm feeling.
And I choose to process and release it.
I choose to process and release it.
Doesn't help me to hold on to it.
It doesn't help me to hold on to it.
Doesn't help him to hold on
Doesn't
to it.
help him to hold on to it.
And I want to let it go.
And I want to let it go.
I can see him.
I can see him.
My eyes have been searching for him.
My eyes have been searching for him.
I can see him down the
I
street.
can see him down the street.
Covered in blood.
Covered in blood.
Everything I made that mean.
Everything I made that mean.
All the worries.
All the worries.
All the worries.
All the worries.
Is that his blood?
No, other people's blood. And he was in shock.
I can see.
I can see him.
He's in shock.
He's in shock.
I can see.
I can see.
He's in shock.
He's in shock.
He's covered in other people's blood.
He's covered in other people's blood. He's covered in asbestos. He's covered in God knows what.
He's covered in everything.
He's covered in everything.
Asbestos.
Asbestos.
God knows what.
Dust. God knows what.
All the dust.
All the dust.
God knows what.
God knows what.
Other people's blood.
Other people's blood.
All my thoughts.
All my thoughts.
All my worries.
All my worries.
He's in shock.
He's in shock.
My eyes seeing him in shock.
I see him in shock.
I couldn't protect him.
Couldn't protect him.
He was in shock.
He was in shock.
Everything I'm feeling.
Everything I'm feeling.
Processing and releasing it.
Processing and releasing it.
All the way back to when my eyes were searching for him.
All the way back to when my eyes were searching for him.
And found him at the end of the street.
At the end of the street.
Covered in God knows what.
Covered in God knows what.
Blood, dust, asbestos.
Blood, dust, asbestos.
Processing and releasing my reaction to that.
Processing and releasing my reaction to that.
I couldn't protect him from it.
Protect him from it.
The earth did what the earth did.
The earth did what the earth did. He chose to do what he chose to do.
He chose to do what he chose to do.
He chose to do what he chose to do.
And even though he's in shock,
And even though he's in shock.
and I'm in shock seeing him in shock,
And I'm in shock, seeing him in shock, yeah.
I choose to process and release that.
I choose to process and release it.
Out of my eyes,
Out of my eyes.
out of my face,
Out of my face.
out of my whole body.
Out of my whole body.
The earth did what the earth did.
The earth did what the earth did.
He did what he did.
He did what he did.
Releasing my reaction to that.
Releasing my reaction to that.
Take a deep breath.
Yeah. Yeah.
I Okay, so you're seeing him down the end of the street, covered in blood, dust, asbestos, God knows what.
And we get him home.
You can see he's in shock though.
Yeah,
How did you
yeah.
know he was in shock?
I went up to him. And I put my arm around him, and he's just very mechanical, and we're just walking in silence, and I try and hold his hand, but he's just walking in silence.
Stop there. Even though
Even though
I can tell he's in shock,
I can tell he's in shock.
when I put my arm around him,
When I put my arm around him,
he's all stiff.
he's all stiff.
He's very mechanical.
He's very mechanical.
I tried to hold his hand and he wouldn't let me.
No, I held his hand.
Oh, I held his hand,
I
sorry.
held his hand. But it wasn't, he just responded. It wasn't, normally he would really respond, but
Yeah.
it was just,
It was like he wasn't there.
it was like he wasn't there.
He wasn't present in his body.
He wasn't present in his body.
He was in shock,
He was in shock.
and that shocked me.
And that shocked me.
I accept myself
I accept myself.
and everything I'm feeling.
Everything I feel.
Even though I put my arm around him,
Even though I put my arm through his arm
through his arm, and I held his hand,
and I held his hand,
he was stiff and mechanical.
he was stiff and mechanical.
It felt like he wasn't in his body,
It felt like he wasn't in his body.
and that shocked me.
And that shocked me.
I accept myself
I accept myself.
and everything I'm feeling.
And everything I'm feeling.
It doesn't help me or him to hold on to it,
It doesn't help me or him to hold on to it.
and I want to release it.
I don't want to release it.
He was in shock.
He was in shock.
I can still feel the stiffness of his body
I can still feel the stiffness of his body
when I put my arm in his
when I put my arm in his.
and I held his hand.
I held his hand.
He wasn't
He
responding.
wasn't responding.
It was like he wasn't in his
It was
body.
like he wasn't in his body.
He was in shock,
He was in shock.
and that shocked me.
And that shocked me. I didn't know what he'd seen.
I didn't know what he'd seen.
I was frightened of what he'd seen.
I was frightened of what he'd seen.
I was frightened of what he'd done.
I was frightened of what he'd done, and I felt helpless.
And I felt helpless.
I felt helpless.
I felt helpless.
He was in shock.
He was in shock.
I didn't know what he'd seen.
I didn't know what he'd seen.
I didn't know what he'd done.
I didn't know what he'd done.
I felt helpless.
I felt helpless.
That helpless feeling in my whole body.
A helpless feeling in my whole body.
My shock seeing his shock.
My shock seeing his shock.
All the unknown.
All the unknown.
I didn't know what he'd seen
I didn't know what he'd seen
or what he'd done.
or what he'd done.
But he wasn't present in his
But
body.
he wasn't present in his body.
And that worried me.
And that worried me, yeah.
All the shock in my head.
All the shock in my head.
No wonder I got a migraine.
No wonder I got a migraine, but not only that, my migraine started in my eyes.
My migraines start in my eyes.
My migraine started in my eyes.
And it was brought on by watching other people in trauma on a video.
Yeah, brought it on by other people watching trauma on a video. Yeah. Yeah.
All that trauma seeing people in shock.
All that trauma seeing people in shock.
My eyes have seen that before.
My eyes have seen that before.
I saw it in my son.
I saw it in my son.
As a parent, you're supposed to protect your
As
children.
a parent, you're supposed to protect your children.
But what do you do when the earth does what it does?
But what do you do when the earth does what it does?
And he does what he does.
And he does what he does. But he was an amazing young man.
He's an amazing young man.
He's an amazing young man.
Releasing my helplessness.
Releasing my helplessness.
He did what he did.
He did what he did.
He responded the way he had to respond.
He responded the way he had to respond. Yeah.
And part of me is really proud of you.
And part of me is very proud of him.
But when I remember putting my arm in his
When I remember putting my arm in his
and holding his hand,
and holding his hand,
my eyes and my body can feel the shock and the worry.
My eyes and my body can feel the shock and the worry.
That he's in shock
That he's in shock.
and he's not in his body.
And he's not in his body.
And I worry about what he saw
I worry about what he saw
and what he did.
and what he did.
It's all unknown to me.
It's all unknown to me.
How can I help him when I don't know?
How can I help him when I don't know?
I feel helpless.
I feel helpless.
Is that right?
Yeah, and it's all still going, the aftershocks are still going, nothing stops.
And he's still in Christchurch?
And he is now, yeah, he is now. But he's going quite well now, but he was suicidal for 3 years.
So tell me about the first time the shock of him being suicidal.
For a long time he couldn't remember what happened. Oh, first of all he was very, very angry, and he couldn't talk about it. And as I say, we're still going through loads of earthquakes for the next, few months. And then he couldn't really remember what happened. And then just really got to a stage where he wasn't obviously sleeping or having terrible flashbacks and couldn't put it all together. And the whole time, as a mother, you're thinking, what can I do? What can I do? I need to be able to try and reach.
So where do you feel that helplessness? My throat.
Yeah.
So you see, I'm not getting suds, I'm just going straight into the feelings. Even though I've got this helplessness in my throat.
Even though I've got this helplessness in my throat.
When my eyes remember seeing him.
When my eyes remember seeing him.
He wasn't coping.
He wasn't coping.
He wasn't sleeping.
He wasn't sleeping.
He was still in shock.
He was still in shock.
I accept myself.
I accept myself.
And my reactions in my body.
And my reactions in my body. Yeah.
My helplessness.
My helplessness.
And I choose to process and release them.
And I choose to process and release them.
Even though my eyes remember seeing him.
Even though my eyes remember seeing him.
Not dealing with it.
Not dealing with it.
He was suicidal.
He was suicidal.
He wasn't sleeping.
He wasn't sleeping.
He was still in shock.
He was still in shock. He wasn't eating.
He wasn't eating.
He wasn't able to really function.
He wasn't present in his body still.
No, he still wasn't present in his body.
He wasn't able to function.
He wasn't able to function.
And I felt helpless.
And I felt helpless.
And my eyes remember the helplessness.
And my eyes remember the helplessness.
And my throat feels
and
it.
my throat feels it.
I accept myself and my body.
I accept myself and my body.
And its reactions.
And its reactions.
And I choose to process and release them.
And I choose to process and release them.
Everything my eyes saw.
Everything my eyes saw.
I saw him have flashbacks.
I saw him have flashbacks. Yeah.
He wasn't sleeping.
He wasn't sleeping.
I saw his anxiety.
I saw his anxiety.
Just like I saw on the video before I got a migraine.
Just like I saw in the video before I got a migraine.
It triggered.
It triggered.
How I remembered my son being.
How I remember my son being.
He wasn't good for 3 years.
He wasn't good for 3 years.
And I felt so helpless.
I felt so helpless.
And I still have that helplessness in my throat.
I still have the helplessness in my throat.
And I choose to dissolve it and let it go.
And I choose to dissolve it and let it go.
All the way back to its origin.
All the way back to its origin.
I'm safe right here in this room.
Here in this room.
I'm safe right here in this room.
I'm safe right here in this room.
My body's reactions.
My body's reactions.
Dissolving them away.
Dissolving them away.
He did have 3 bad years.
He did have 3 babies.
And he is still in Christchurch.
And he is still in Christchurch.
But he's improved a lot.
But he's improved a lot.
And the more I improve.
And the more I improve.
And don't react.
And don't react.
The more I can help.
The more I can help.
Releasing my reactions.
Releasing my reactions.
To his
reactions. He's also at a stage now, he's 24, where, he does want to do things on his own, and so there is space for me to say, work on your reactions and move on to really want to do it.
I really want to help him.
I really want to.
And in the past, I've been in reaction mode.
In the past, I've been in reaction mode.
And I can't help anyone in reaction mode.
I can't help anyone in reaction mode. Yeah.
Even though I've been in reaction mode.
Even though I've been in reaction mode.
With all this reaction in my throat and my eyes.
With all this reaction in my throat and my eyes.
I can't speak to him about it without getting overwhelmed.
I can't speak without getting overwhelmed.
And reactive.
And reactive.
And I want to release that.
And I want to release it.
So I can help him.
So I can help him. Well, it's also to help me and to help my husband, because we need to move on. And I mean, it's time, and I am moving on. I am moving on well. My mouth keeps on wanting to. I'm feeling it in my mouth.
Everything I'm feeling in my mouth.
Everything I'm feeling in my mouth.
I thank my mouth for holding on to it.
I thank my mouth for holding on to it.
But it's time to dissolve it away.
Time to dissolve it away.
Even though I've got this reaction in my mouth.
Even though I've got this reaction in my mouth.
And my throat.
In my throat.
I choose to dissolve it away.
I choose to dissolve it away.
All the way back to its origin.
All the way back to its origin.
All the way back to everything I saw.
And all the way back to everything I saw.
All my son's reactions.
All my son's reactions.
Feeling helpless.
Feeling helpless.
It's time to process and release it.
It's time to process and release it. Yeah.
All the tears.
All the tears.
All the worry.
All the worry.
all the thoughts.
All the thoughts.
He was suicidal for 3 years.
He was suicidal for 3 years.
All the worries.
All the worries.
All the what ifs.
All the what ifs.
All the worst case scenarios
All the worst case scenarios.
that kept going through my head.
Keep going through my head.
I released the reaction
I release the reaction.
out of my mind,
Out of my mind.
out of my eyes,
Out of my eyes.
out of my mouth,
Out of my mouth.
out of my throat.
Out of my throat.
I choose to feel peace.
I choose to feel peace.
The earth did what it did.
It did what it did.
He did what he did.
He did what he did. I did what I did.
I did what I did. All our reactions.
All our reactions.
The reactions that no longer serve us.
The reactions that no longer serve us.
I choose to process and release my
I
reactions.
choose to process and release my reactions.
All that helplessness.
All that helplessness.
When I saw his shock,
When I saw his shock.
when I saw his reactions,
When I saw his reactions.
when I saw him not sleeping,
When I saw him not sleeping.
when I saw him not eating,
When I saw him not eating.
when I saw him having flashbacks,
When I saw him having flashbacks.
when I saw him not in his body.
When I saw him not in his body. And getting to the stage where he didn't actually know what was being in his body anymore, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know which way was up anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He didn't know which way was up anymore.
Which way was up.
He didn't know how to be present in his body.
He didn't know how to be present in his body.
And neither did I.
And neither did I.
And I choose to learn to be present in my body,
And I choose to learn to be present in my body.
even when I remember him being that way.
Even though I remember him being that way.
So I can be present to be present for him.
So I can be present to be present for him.
Mm-hmm. Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
So this is more talk and tap. We're tapping just along with what's going on and what's coming up. And I'm using her words, but I'm also intuiting some stuff and making sure it lands.
Yeah, yeah. It's, yeah.
So what's the worst time you can remember looking at him and the worst reaction you felt?
Fear of maybe him not making it. Like,
Tapping him?
yeah. Having a time where, because he really went off the rails, and having a time where he rang me in the middle of the night in a panic because he'd had another panic attack and he was with friends. And he'd woken them all up, they were all just sleeping in the lounge, he'd woken them all up screaming and he couldn't breathe. And it was
So he rang you to tell you that?
yeah, and so I had to, you know, just get him outside and go through that, which was fine, we got there. And it was just this feeling.
Go back to, I want you to go back to hearing him ring you, hearing the sound of his voice, saying he'd woken up, screaming, and had woken up everyone.
He was embarrassed.
Yeah.
And he couldn't breathe.
He couldn't breathe. You can hear the sound of his voice.
Yeah.
He can hardly breathe.
He could hardly breathe.
Your reaction, where is it in your body?
In my head. I'm just trying to think, what can I do? What can I do? I mean, I knew it was just I had to go and get him.
Yeah. Stop there though. Even though I felt helpless,
Even though I felt helpless.
what can I do?
What can I do?
When I heard the sound of his voice,
When I heard the sound of his voice,
he was embarrassed.
he was embarrassed.
He could hardly breathe.
He could hardly breathe.
He was having a panic attack.
He was having a panic attack.
My reaction,
My reaction.
I choose to process and release
I choose
it
to process and release it
out of my body,
out of my body,
out of my ears.
out of my ears.
Even though I remember the sound of his voice
Even though I remember the sound of his voice
and his breathlessness
and his breathlessness.
when he told me he'd woken screaming
When he told me he'd woken screaming
and woken them up.
and woken.
He was having a panic
He
attack.
was having a panic attack.
He could hardly
He
breathe.
could hardly breathe.
I release and let go of my reaction
I release and let go of my reaction.
and my worries,
My worries.
my helplessness.
My helplessness.
I can hear the sound of his voice,
I can hear the sound of his voice.
the tone of his voice,
The tone of his voice.
his breathlessness.
His breathlessness.
When he told me he'd woken screaming,
He told me he'd woken screaming.
he'd woken them all up.
He'd woken them all up.
He was having a panic
He
attack.
was having a panic attack.
He could hardly breathe.
He could hardly breathe.
He was so embarrassed.
He was so embarrassed.
I felt
I
helpless.
felt helpless.
I felt so bad for him.
I felt so bad for him. Yeah.
I just wanted to go and get him.
I wanted to go and get him.
My reactions.
My reactions. It's like, what can we do? How can we help? How can we move
How
this
can
forward?
I help?
How can I help?
How can I move this forward?
How can I move this forward?
How can I help?
How can I help?
How can I move this forward?
How can I move him forward?
How can I move him forward?
How can I move him forward?
All this helplessness.
All this helplessness.
I felt helpless.
I felt helpless.
I knew I had to go and get him,
I knew I had to go and get him.
but I didn't know what to do.
I didn't know what to do.
I didn't know how to help him move forward.
I didn't know how to help him move forward.
And part of me still feels that.
I still think so.
And I was triggered by that,
Well,
seeing other people in trauma on a video.
seeing other people in trauma on a video.
No wonder I got a migraine.
No wonder I can't migraine.
That started with my eyes.
It started with my eyes.
I felt helpless.
I felt helpless.
Everything I saw,
Everything I saw.
everything I heard.
Everything I heard.
What if he doesn't come out of this?
What if he doesn't come out of this?
All my worries.
Oh, well, worried.
I had to go and get
I
him,
had to go and get him.
but I didn't know how to
But I
bring him
didn't
out
know
of
how
it.
to bring him out of it.
I still feel helpless.
I still feel helpless.
I still feel
I
helpless.
still feel helpless.
But maybe I can let go of my helpless reaction
But maybe I can let go of my helpless reaction
to help me be in my body,
to help me be in my body,
to help him be in his body.
to help him be in his body. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
my worries,
Whereas
all my helplessness,
all my helplessness,
hearing the sound of his voice.
hearing the sound of his voice,
He couldn't breathe.
he couldn't breathe,
His embarrassment.
embarrassment,
How do I move him forward?
forward,
All my worries,
my worries,
processing and releasing them.
processing and releasing,
Out of my eyes and my ears,
out of my eyes and my ears,
and my throat,
and my throat,
and my mouth.
and my mouth.
It's safe to let it go
It's safe to let it go
in order to be more present for him.
in order to be more present for him.
Okay, deep breath.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
How does that feel?
I mean, it's time for him to do his own thing, and he does want to. And you still, I mean, it's not up to me now. You still have this worry about how's he going to manage it, because he's a very unusual child, well, young man. Quite spiritual, but also with a lot of learning difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
High school ended up just being a disaster for him with what happened. So, yeah, he's definitely struggling to put himself together, and so you do feel that. But at the same time, I know he wants to move ahead, and it's time for me to move back. He does want that too, and I do too. I want that as well. So,
See how you're talking about that more level-headedly with less emotion now?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this is what I want to do, this is what needs to happen.
Yeah,
It's very matter of fact
Yeah.
now.
yeah. I know the direction needs to go. I just need to keep myself focused on that direction.
And we started off with something about your sister and ended up with your son. But even though we started off with stuff about my sister,
We started off with stuff about my sister.
and we didn't really go there.
We didn't really go.
And I'm sure there's more to work on there.
There's a lot of work up there.
I put that in a box
I put that in a box.
and put it up in a shelf
I put it in the shelf.
and tie it up with a pretty bow
Tied up with a pretty bow.
and know that I'll work on that later.
Yeah, no, later.
And it's safe for it to be there
Don't say for it to be.
and for me to be at peace with that
And for me to be at peace with that.
until I look into it in more detail.
Until I look at it in more detail. Yeah.
Thanking my eyes and my throat and my mouth
Thinking my eyes and my throat and my mouth.
and my ears for the reactions they had
For the reactions they had.
that I no longer require.
That I no longer require.
They were there to protect me in some
They were
way,
there to protect me in some way.
but they're no longer
They're
required.
no longer required.
I choose to have the blood in my frontal cortex so I can think clearly,
I choose to have the blood in my frontal cortex so I can think clearly.
so I can be present in my body.
So I can be present in my body.
Even when I see what I see with my son,
Even when I see what I see with my son.
even when I hear what I hear with my son,
Even when I hear what I hear with my son.
and all of his learning difficulties
And all of his learning difficulties.
and the way he moves forward in
the
life.
way he moves forward in life.
I trust in the process
I trust in the process
of him moving forward.
Of him moving forward. I trust in the process
Of him moving forward.
of him moving forward. I trust in the process of him moving forward.
I trust in the process of me moving forward. Awesome.
Thank you. Right.
Wonderful. So see, we didn't really focus so much on the migraine itself, but the circumstances around it. And I was particularly mindful of what had brought on that migraine so quickly. And we've just been watching people in trauma, people having flashbacks, people having that.
Yeah.
And then immediately after that, in the background, was coming up subconsciously all the stuff around your son, and also the fact that you didn't want to go there, you didn't want to see it. It started in your eyes.
I did start in that.
Mm-hmm.
Happened very quickly. Yeah.
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 It was triggered by what you saw.
Yeah.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
So sometimes we're not focusing so much on the physical thing, but the circumstances around it and what triggered it.
Yeah. That's really good. Thank you.
You're welcome.